Leave your comments on the Ask Reddit sub, and I'll read your answers on the next episode of LWIAR 2. People who are 40 plus and happy with their life. What is your advice to people in their 20s? I am 40 years old and I have 3 pieces of advice for anyone in their 20s, except that perfection doesn't exist. Your relationships will have problems. Your car will break down. Someone else will anyways have a better phone, a newer car, or a bigger house than you. No matter where on the social ladder you stand, constantly chasing perfection will keep you permanently stressed. That doesn't mean you should not try to better your life. Just know that if you expect perfection, you will never be satisfied. Pay attention to your diet and health. I have been working out at least 4 times per week since my mid-20s. I am fitter, healthier and look younger than almost everyone else my age. Don't stop doing the things you love. Even though I have a wife, kids, job, etc., I still make time to play video games, draw, write stories, read comics, play basketball, listen to music, etc. There is no reason to become a miserable old bastard. Edit. Wow, this has blown up way more than I expected. Thanks for the awards, guys. It's nice to know my advice can be useful to others. Edit 2. So, quite a few people have asked how I find time to fit in all these hobbies. As I said, I have to make the time. Apart from working out, which I do at 6 a.m. before everyone else wakes up. I'm not doing these things every day. I only game on the weekend if I get the chance. I read e-books on my phone when I'm killing time in the day. I may buy a comic 2 to 3 times a year and I can usually find a few hours in the week to draw. I still make time to chill out with my wife in the evenings and do things with kids. I just fit my hobbies in between them. I also don't watch much TV or go out. But that's just me. Yes to all your points. But very much to number 3. Don't let anyone tell you you're too old to enjoy something. We all grow out of hobbies. But the things that give you joy now will very possibly always give you joy. Don't forget that feeling. And sure, when you get married and start a family, you're not going to have the time for all-night gaming anymore. But that doesn't mean you can't do your hobbies at all, or even start new ones. When I was mid-30s and knee-deep in a couple of toddlers, I decided I wanted to learn how to draw. I really needed something for me, and a pencil and paper were easy to put down if I had to kiss any boo-boos or feed my kids. This has led to a bunch of different art mediums: stained glass, lino cuts, paper craft, and a source of joy, accomplishment, curiosity and friendships for me. I'm 41 this year. Never exercised in my life. Naturally slim build. Maybe I should do a couple YouTube cardio sessions a week. No idea where to start. Edit. Wow, thank you for all the replies. Just a couple things to add. My Achilles are kinda fricked. Absolutely no idea why. Normal day-to-day activities are absolutely no problem. Cycling is also fine. However, if I run or jog, oh man, I'm crippled for the next few days. My diet is superb, even if I do say so myself. GF and I are really into our healthy cooking, so I know that's a non-issue. As in, gone to a gym, or done any kind of exercise weights or routines at home. My dad had a naturally slim build and never exercised. He died 6 years ago at 57 with a heart attack. Exercise isn't just good for losing weight or gaining muscle. It's vital to keeping your heart healthy. Start small. It can be something as simple as walking around the neighborhood or a few push-ups in the morning or at night. Every little bit is a step in the right direction. It gets easier the longer you keep it up. Finding a workout partner keeps you motivated and makes exercising more fun. It's never too late to get into exercising. You sound like an awesome person. I'm only 19 but I'm sticking to these 3 for sure. 27 here. Easier said than done, LMAO. Rooting for you! Exclamation mark. 27 here as well. Still feel like a damn kid most of the time. Edit. Wow, such an overwhelming response of positivity from all of you. This made my day. Glad that I'm not the only one who feels like this. Keep your youthful wonder, fellow adults. 27 too, and I third that. I'm turning 27 this year and also agree. Let's start group. 27 Club Woo. Oh wait. Relax more. Don't get angry over little things. This, relax and don't get overly angry while others talk about material things or experiences. The real lesson is to accept that things won't always go the way you want them to, and that's okay. Didn't marry your perfect spouse. That person doesn't exist. Align expectations to reality and appreciate those who love you for who they are. Or find new people. Didn't buy the perfect car? Oh, well, it still gets you where you're going. Define your criteria for the next one and work towards it. Didn't get the perfect house? Probably not. But it's yours and you can fix it. Didn't get that promotion? Don't be so sure it would have worked out the way you think it would have. Vacation wasn't perfect. Are you sure about that? Or were your expectations too high? Point is, relax, enjoy the ride, work your goals, but remember none of it matters if you can't enjoy it along the way. Edit. Thanks for the awards. I'm in my 30s and my new motto is to lower my expectations. I find my general disappointment comes from expecting things to be a certain way instead of being realistic and rolling with life's changes. I've had a build-up of anxiety for a while and this actually calmed me down a bit. Thanks. There's an old book, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living by Dale Carnegie. It may be corny and a bit dated, but its guidelines are still, I think, great. The one that helps me every time I get a bit whacked out. Live in day-tight compartments. Don't think about yesterday or tomorrow, focus on today. The here and now. I'm 40. This is my input. Everyone is focused on themselves to care too much about their opinion of you. So frick what they think. Social media is only an illusion. Zero debt is an amazing feeling. Think twice before dropping that down payment on that fully loaded 2020 dream mobile that offers nothing but looks and depreciates value quickly. Falling out of love is perhaps more powerful than falling in love. Use up all of your vacation time, sick time at work. Don't lose sight of the hobbies you enjoyed as a child. They will help you live as you grow older. Family is not necessarily blood, but instead who you would bleed for. There are just as much benefits to being a night owl as there are to being an early bird. Forgive yourself first before forgiving others. Do not be a doormat in submission, but hold the door open in kindness. Took me way too long to learn number 5. I always thought not taking any time off made me a good employee. Turns out that taking time for myself and giving myself much needed breaks made me a better employee. Who knew? Family is not necessarily blood, but instead who you would bleed for. I don't think I've ever read a more profound statement. 8a. Do not do both. Yeah, no doubt. In fact, if you do both, you're doing neither because you're always tired at both ends of the day. And none of the time is quality. Could you expand on number 4? I think it can refer to multiple things. For one, falling out of love with someone you can't be with is one of the most liberating and powerful feelings you'll ever feel. Another could be that falling out of love with someone that you're with, especially if they're still in love with you, is a profound and life-changing experience that might uproot a lot of what you took for granted. I just found out my fiancé, altogether for 11 years, was cheating on me shortly after I proposed. I was devastated and on the verge of suicide. However, all my friends and family stood by my side and I realized I have so much more to live for than just her love. All we have known for most of our teenage, adult lives was being with each other. That was our identity to our schoolmates and our co-workers. We still work at the same company. I'm still hurt beyond belief. But I am looking forward to finding out about myself and figuring who I really am before committing to anyone else. I now have the power, for the first time in 11 years, to do as I wish without consulting someone else or feeling guilty. It's painful but it's quite powerful. Edit. Thank you, Sabeth, for the award. An obligatory. Didn't expect this to blow up, but I'm blown away by your guys' responses and support. We really have to look out for each other during times like these. Remember, kings, no girl is worth the obituary. Keep living for your friends, family and most importantly, yourself. Can you elaborate on the night owl thing? Always been one, always been pressured not to be one. I think it refers to night owls having the same time as an early bird anyways. So you can get everything done still, just at different times, and that's okay. Usually people push you to be an early bird just so you can get more out of your day, but if you feel more productive at night, the results should be the same no matter the time. Just do what works better for you. I actually find myself to be way more productive at night, when everyone else has gone to bed and the house is quiet. You are so much more creative when people leave you the frick alone. Same. I never got the late sleeper being lazy thing. Like fricka. You went to sleep 11 p.m. while I worked on a hobby from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. You might do your thing in the morning when I sleep, but essentially it's the same thing. Get a regular exercise routine going and stick to it like your quality of life depends on it. Because it does. Absolutely. You don't have to train like a pro athlete. You don't even have to work out every single day, but you need to make it part of your lifestyle. Something you want and crave. A 5-minute jog is better than a 0 minutes jog. I exercised a lot in my early 20s, then stopped, after having a kid while in my mid-30s. I am trying to get back into shape and doing a lot of weightlifting. I can't believe I stopped for so many years. Find an exercise you like. I hated treadmills and bikes, but love my rowing machine because I can watch TV. I didn't really like home gyms, but I am enjoying doing an entire routine with a barbell. It is way easier to keep up exercising if you find something you enjoy. Or at least don't hate. I also used a one-on-one trainer, until quarantine started, who pushed me and kept me motivated. Expensive, but it was totally worth it for me. Find an exercise you like is key, but also to lower your threshold. In my 20s, I ran marathons. At some point, if I couldn't get a 30 to 45 minute run in, I wouldn't get out the door. Some exercise is always better than no exercise, and one that you like is exercise that you'll stick with for the long term. This is me right now. So many 3 to 4 mile runs turned down just cause I was planning more and didn't have the time. For years and for years, I have worked on my shape. I've made no excuses, evasions, escape. I've trained and I've strained and I've struggled for this, and not an occasion I've chosen to miss. I've worked on my body, I've worked on my form, I've worked with a purpose to challenge the norm. I've slogged and I've slaved and I've labored and found my mission is over. I'm perfectly brown. I was a raging alcoholic in my 20s and thought I would never recover from it. I never found a real job using my first degree or my master's. Part of it was because I was always drunk. Part of it was the job market at the time. I went back to school in my 30s and found something I like a whole lot more. Now, I'm married, nearly 10 years sober, and have a great job. My point is, if you end up on the wrong path or don't like where you are, there's always time to turn around and change it. Too many people just assume they're stuck where they are and stuck with the issues they have. Wow, this helped me a whole lot with my anxiety. I'm a 20-year school dropout because of mental illness. I have big dreams though, and the thought of never achieving them makes me even more sad. But your post helped me realize that it's not too late to turn my life around. I can go back to school after I've been in therapy. I can still achieve my goals. Thank you. I hope you have a great day. Edit. Spelling. This is so important. Thank you for the reminder. I'm glad you were able to turn things around. My point is, if you end up on the wrong path or don't like where you are, there's always time to turn around and change it. Though mainly and mostly together in mind, with hope for ahead and at peace with behind, in essence and earnest. I have to confide, I'm still not for certain I know who's inside. But that's what's amazingly freeing to try. Perhaps there just isn't a definite I. And if I'm unhappy or troubled with me, then maybe it's someone I don't have to be. I guess you decide for how long, or how far, and if it's not working, you change who you are. If me isn't certain, and me isn't set, then changing is easy. I'm not finished yet. I'm not sure who said it, but once I read this online. Don't cling to a mistake just because you spent a lot of time making it. And I think about it all the time. Kind of relates to what you said. Yeah, that's something I learned in business school, the sunk cost fallacy. But it really applies to every aspect of life. The most common one that gets people is relationships. They've been in a relationship for years. That isn't healthy, but they feel they need to stay in it because of how much time they've been in it. I got divorced last year after being married for 17 years. I'm actually happier than I've been for a long time. And no, she wasn't a terrible person. We're still on good terms. We just both realized that it wasn't working, and trying to make it work was making us miserable. We could have easily stuck with it because of the time we spent together. But I like where I am now, and the knowledge that there's an even better relationship for me out there. Take care of your teeth. This is the only set you're ever going to have, and you don't want to neglect them and mess them up. Like I did. I've got crap tons of fillings which don't last forever and need replacement. A filling isn't as good as the real thing, and filled teeth can break, requiring crowns. I have two and it sucks. Brush and floss thoroughly every single day without exception. Hell, get an electric toothbrush. See the dentist regularly. Ditch the sugary drinks. Also, no matter how good your teeth were at your last checkup, you need to go get that plaque removed. I dodged the dentist for a few years. Then I had to actually get them so they could get it all. 4 different trips. It sucked. Everything you get becomes something you have. Learn how to be happy having things instead of getting them. Edit. Kinda took off. Thanks for all the awards. I appreciate having them. This is true. I bought a very big piece of exercise equipment. 6-post power rack. And I just sold it even though I love the thing. I sold it because I realized I was paying rent on it that far exceeded the cost of just selling it and buying it back later when I could actually afford to keep it. It was becoming a burden and restricting my options in life, and I wanted the flexibility back. While I had it, I was paying to store it and move it when traveling, paying increased rent to put it in my garage, etc. In a way, everything you own ends up owning you. Make sure it is all meaningful and worth keeping around. The more you own, the more you're owned. Wish this was higher up. I could have set up a %6 pre-tax retirement account in my early 20s. I wasted 10+ years and now will have to work another 10 years to make up for lost time. It takes a little adjustment, but 6% to 10% pre-tax invested in the market will compound and add up to a very good chunk of change by retirement. Plus, as you move on from entry-level to higher-paying jobs, you'll have established a healthy financial habit that you can practice until retirement and live a lot more comfortably. Tagging along with a nice anecdote to highlight the absolute importance of starting early. You and I decide we want to retire at 65. Fairly typical. We're both 25. I say, I'm gonna start saving now, but I'm gonna stop after 10 years. You say, hey, I'm young, it can wait. We will assume a long-term return of 5% per year. 10 years go by. I contributed $500 per month to a Roth IRA. At 35, I stopped putting in. I contributed a total of $60,000. You decide now is your chance. You plan to contribute as much as I did, $500 per month. But you figure you're behind, so you're gonna do it for 30 years. That's 3 decades. 3x as long as I contributed. So I contributed $60,000 from 25 to 35. You contributed $180,000 from 35 to 65. Well, too bad. When we retire at 65, I have more money than you. You never caught up to me, because you thought you could wait for 10 years. Compound interest is powerful, and I let my money do my work for me. Invest early, invest often, but absolutely do it early. Edit. In graph form. Thanks to you, Mr. Stilton. When I was 22, an older gentleman asked me how old I was and then told me, Chad 303. When you are twice that age, you'll be twice the man you are today. I almost considered it a slight in that moment, but time has proven him wise. Here I am, twice that age and, in my humble estimation, twice the man than I was then. I believe this chiefly because I have learned that kindness is not a weakness. Humility serves you better than pride, and cruelty is a fool's game. Also exercise, so you are not also physically twice the man you were. This is my favorite comment in the thread. Thank you for sharing. Thanks for watching LWIAR 2. The best of all time r/AskReddit submissions and comments. If you like this video, check out the original LWIAR channel. And don't forget to like and subscribe.